Okay, so good afternoon class. Our discussion for today is more on engineering math for EE. So ang coverage ng subject nito is more on complex numbers, Laplace transform, and Fourier series. So anyway, let's start our discussion about complex numbers. So dito, let us consider uh, discussing this first problem in order for us to start. Ano po? So consider solving this expression or simplify this expression, which is I raised to 1997 plus I raised to 1999, where I is equivalent to square root of negative 1. So itong I na to is, as mentioned naman na dito sa problem, this is equivalent to square root of negative 1, which is actually an imaginary unit. Okay, so this is an imaginary unit. So ito, paano natin to masisimplify? Well, some of you may attempt to solve this directly using calculator, but this will give you an error if ever we try to let's say for example mode 2 para ma-activate natin yung complex mode ng calculator, and if you try to solve this directly using your calculator, let's say I raised to 1997, ito na muna. Well, of course it will give you this warning, which is math error. Well, this means that the calculator cannot understand kung ano ang nilagay natin dito. So basically, this calculator is not programmed to evaluate such an expression na merong ganitong kalaking exponent. Well, anong gagawin natin dito? Well, dito sa problem na to, define na yung value ng I, which is once again the imaginary unit, which is of course the square root of negative 1. So the simplest way in order for us to simplify this expression is i-divide natin by 4 ang exponent and we take the remainder. And that will be our exponent. Well, what is the reason behind that statement? Consider this analysis. So I raised to 0 is equivalent to 1. Well, because any number raised to 0 except 0 raised to 0 is 1. Okay? So if I raised to 1, well, of course, this is just equivalent to I. So I squared. So itong I squared na to, this is equivalent to I times I, which is equivalent lang naman to the quantity square root of negative 1 squared, which is obviously equivalent to negative 1. So I cube, by loss of exponent, we can actually express this in terms of I squared as I squared times I. Well, as you can recall, this exponent is basically came from this 2 plus 1, which is the exponents of this 2i na nakamultiply. Well, once again, by loss of exponent ito. So, I squared, we've calculated na this one as negative 1. So, therefore, this is just equivalent to negative 1 times I, which is simply equivalent to negative I. Next is I raised to 4. So, I raised to 4 is basically equivalent lang naman to I squared times I squared. Well, some of you may be asking bakit in-express natin ito in terms of I squared. Well, of course, we have already defined na kasi its numerical value, which is this one, yung negative 1. So, it is easier to factor out this one in terms of I squared. Okay? So, I squared is equivalent once again to negative 1. So, negative 1 times negative 1 ito, which is equivalent to positive 1. So, if we continue, magiging I raised to 5 ito. So, in this case, we can express this in terms of I raised to 4 because yun na yung mas simpleng paraan for us to simplify this one. So, magiging I raised to 4 ito times I because we already determined the value of this one. So, I raised to 4 times I is ito lang naman yun, ano? So, I raised to 4 is 1 times I, which is obviously I lang naman. So, if we continue this process, I raised to 6 is magiging negative 1 lang naman yan. So, I raised to 7 can be expressed in terms of negative I, and so on and so forth. So, notice that meron tayo ditong pattern. And daw ulit siya dito sa part na to. So, if we start dito, the cycle will repeat dito sa part na to. I raised to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth. So, let us consider itong first part na to. So, ilang terms tayong meron tayo dito? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yung 4 na yun, well, basically, doon nang galing yung dinivide natin na 4. Okay? Or another interpretation of that is ito. I raised to 4 is equivalent to 1. We may take advantage of this fact. Pwede naman yon, ano? So, I raised to 4 is equivalent to 1. So, basically, let's say for example, this I raised to 1997. So, if we divide itong I raised to 1997 by 4, so let's say ganito, divided by 4. So, basically, meron tayo ditong 499.25. So, eto, so this can be expressed as so 199.97 divided with 4 is equivalent to 499.25, which is in fraction form, in mixed fraction form, is meron tayo ditong 499 and 1/4. So, basically, meron tayo ditong remainder na 1. Okay? So, eto, this means that meron tayo ditong 499 na 4 sa 1997 is meron tayo ditong 499 na 4 and meron tayo ditong 1/4 of 4 which is basically 1. So which means this can be rewritten itong I raised to 1997 as I raised to 4 which is raised to 499. Okay? So ito kasi if you uh, express this or simplify this one, which magiging 1 raised to 499 lang naman, which is 1. So, multiplied by I raised to 4, which is raised by this 1/4. So, meron tayo dito 1/4. So, kumbaga, in-apply natin dito yung laws of exponent and ang ginamit natin na base is actually I raised to 4 in order for us to simplify things up. Because we already know the value of I raised to 4. Okay? So, in this case, itong part na to, magiging ano na. So, I raised to 4 is basically 1. So, magiging 1 na to. Itong part na to is magiging 1 na yan. How about itong I raised to 4 raised to 1/4? Well, of course, this will be equivalent to I raised to 4 times 1/4, which is equivalent to I raised to 1. So, itong 1 na to is actually the remainder, which is the numerator, of course, of the fractional part. Okay? So, of course, ang fraction natin dito must be in terms of over 4 and take the numerator, which is obviously the remainder. So, therefore, itong I raised to 1997 natin dito must be equivalent to I. So, this is the simplified na term dito. So, if we repeat the process dito sa I raised to 1999, well, of course, ganito siya. So, 1999 divided by 4. So, in this case, meron tayo ditong 499.75, which is basically 499 and 3/4. Okay? So, 1999, itong part na to, we're evaluating this one over 4, which is equivalent to 499 and 3/4. So, of course, the remainder is 3. Okay? So, therefore, ang I raised to 1999 pala natin, so let us evaluate na lang ito dito sa part na to. So, I raised to 1999 must be equivalent to I cube because that is the remainder na nakuha natin dito previously. So, of course, yung I cube natin is already determined na as this one. We evaluated na this kani-kanina lang. So, this will be equivalent to negative I. So, therefore, we can conclude that our analysis is this one. So, ang I raised to 1997 pala natin plus I raised to 1999 can be rewritten as I plus negative I, which is just equivalent to I minus I, which is simply 0. So, basically, ito na ang final answer natin for this question. Okay? So, next question, number 2. So, dito sa number 2, same o almost the same na approach lang tayo dito because we are intending to simplify this complex number na naka-raise to certain exponent dito. So, of course, itong I raised to 2018 natin can be rewritten as 2018. So, if we divide 2018 by 4 divided by 4, so meron tayo ditong 504.5. So, which means, meron tayo ditong 2018 over 4 is equivalent to 504 and 2/4. And 2/4. Take note, hindi 1/2 ang nilalagay ko dito para visible pa din sa atin yung ano, itong actual na remainder. Okay, baka may misinterpret kasi natin ano, if ever we rewrite this in terms of lowest term which is 1/2, baka misinterpret nyo once again as 1 yung remainder. So, para safe is in-express natin itong fractional part in terms of 4 instead of 2. Okay? Yung denominator. So, therefore, we can easily conclude that the remainder of this one is 2. So, therefore, itong I raised to 2018 pala natin can be rewritten as I squared, which is simply -1. How about itong I raised to 1994? So, itong I raised to 1994 natin, so if you divide itong 1994 by 4, so basically the result is ito, divided by 4. So, around 498.5, which is 498, which is ang remainder is 2, of course. So, therefore, itong I raised to 1994 natin can be written as I squared once again, which is -1. Okay? So, the last one is meron tayo ditong I raised to 365. So, basically, if we take the remainder nito, is meron tayo ditong 365 divided by 4. So, this is equivalent to 91.25, which is basically 91 plus 1/4. So, 91, and the remainder is obviously 1. Okay? So, therefore, this I raised to 365 is I raised to 1 or simply I. So, if we proceed dito sa simplification nitong expression na binigay dito sa problem, well, of course, magiging ano na. So, 10 times I raised to 2018, which is -1, as we've evaluated previously. So, plus 9 multiplied by I raised to 1994, which is equivalent to this one, which is once again -1, plus 7 times I raised to 365, which is times I. Ito. So, therefore, meron na tayo ditong -10 times 1, -1, which is equivalent to -10 plus -1 times 9 is -9 plus 7i, which is in turn equivalent ito into -19 plus 7i. So, this is basically our final answer for this question. Okay? So, next is number 3. So, given a complex number, z is equivalent to 3 plus j4, determine its absolute value, the argument, and the value of z, and meron ditong asterisk, which is, ang meaning nito is we are asked about the complex conjugate of the given complex number z. So, complex conjugate ito. Conjugate. And the another symbol na ginagamit dito is ganito, yung may bar sa taas, z bar. Okay? So, either of the two will do. So, the more common na symbol na ginagamit, especially sa EE, is ito. If ever you encounter this operation sa complex number, especially sa circuit analysis, you may encounter this symbol instead of this one. Ito yung generalized na symbol, but in terms of sa mga electrical analysis, ito ang ginagamit. Say, tapos may asterisk sa taas to denote that we are asked about the complex conjugate of a certain complex number. So, eto, meron tayo ditong given na complex number which is in the form of a plus bi. So, itong a na to is basically the real part. Real part ito. Real part. And itong bi is actually the imaginary part. Imaginary part ito. Where ang a and b natin are real numbers ito, real numbers. Do not be confused about this b, real numbers. Itong b is just the coefficient of I. Okay? So, itong b must be a real number also. Okay? So, where the product of b saka I will form the imaginary part of the complex number. So eto, as you can recall, this real saka imaginary part of the complex number is basically 90 degree ang phase difference nila. So of course, if we plot this into a 2D plane, which is also known as the Argand diagram, so ganito siya. So let's say for example, meron tayong 2D plane dito, which is of course composed of two axes, which is the vertical and horizontal axis, which is kumbaga ano siya identical siya doon sa Cartesian plane. So itong sa Cartesian plane, this is the x-axis, itong horizontal, but in the Argand diagram, this is actually the real axis. So the right side is positive real axis denoted by plus RE. So dito naman sa left side is negative real axis. Dito naman sa taas is positive imaginary. And dito naman sa baba, which is itong sa vertical, is negative imaginary. Okay? So consider this scenario na meron tayong given na complex number once again, which is in the form of a plus bi as 3 plus j4. So itong 3 is the real part. So let's say for example, we count 3 units to the right kasi positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ito lang, hanggang lang tayo dito ano. So dito sa part na to, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. So 4. Okay. So dito, basically, this is 4. Okay. So basically, the location nitong ano natin is around dito, the complex number. So meron tayo dito z is equivalent to a plus bi. So if we connect this point, ito, saka itong origin, meron tayo ditong straight line, which is the length, which is ang length nito is actually the r, or the absolute value. So ito, para magkaroon kayo ng idea regarding the evaluation nito or the conversion is ganito. Consider this scenario na meron tayong line once again, and if we draw a vertical dashed line dito, papunta dito, the length of this line is actually equivalent to the vertical distance of this point, which is yung B. And itong part na to, if we draw a horizontal line from the origin papunta dito, which is actually the projection around x-axis nitong line na to, this is actually yung real part. And this is B. So let's say, meron tayo ditong theta, which is actually the argument it makes with respect to the positive real axis. So as we can see, meron tayo ditong right triangle. So i-extract muna natin ito ano. So B, A, tapos theta dito. And let's say the length of this line is R, or basically the absolute value. So dito, for us to convert ito or solve this R with respect to B and A, well, of course, we can apply Pythagorean theorem. So meron tayo ditong R squared is equivalent to A squared plus B squared. So of course, ang R natin must be equivalent to square root of A squared plus B squared. So how about this argument? So given this B and A, so of course the angle can be calculated by simply taking the arctangent of the ratio of opposite is to adjacent. Okay? So if you are intending to solve this by hand, you can actually solve this for problem by simply using this formula. So how about the complex conjugate? So given a complex number z is equivalent to a plus bi, well, the complex conjugate of this complex number denoted by this symbol must be equivalent to a minus bi. Okay? So basically, ang ginagawa natin dito is we simply alter the sign of the imaginary. So if ever galing positive, gagawin nating negative. And if ever negative ang original na sign ng imaginary unit, well, magiging positive na in the case of complex conjugate. So ganun lang. So basically, ang mangyayari dito is since we are asked about the absolute value, the argument, and so as the complex conjugate of this given complex number, we can actually use this formula once again. Itong mga na-derive natin dito. So, R must be equivalent to A at the square root of A squared plus B squared. So, meron tayo ditong 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is, yun na nga, itong 3 na to is the A, and itong 4, which is the coefficient of the imaginary unit, is B. So, ito yung mga pinag-plug in natin dito. So, basically, this will be equivalent to square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is 5. Okay? So, meron tayo ditong 5 units as the absolute value, or actually the length of this line. So, yung theta natin is arctangent of B over A, which is 4 over 3. So, in terms of degrees ito, so arctangent of 4 divided by 3. So, this will be around or approximately equivalent to 53.13 degrees. So, 53.13 degrees. And, of course, the complex conjugate of this one is we simply alter the sign of the imaginary unit. So, magiging 3 minus J4 na to. Okay? So, therefore, itong tatlo na to will serve as our final answers for this question. So, as more direct approach nito on solving this problem, since we have this calculator, well, we can utilize the complex mode nitong calculator. So, basically, ang gagawin lang naman natin is we simply type ito. So, of course, mode 2 para mag-complex mode. So, tapos 3 plus 4i para ma-input natin itong expression na given. And para makuha natin yung r tapos yung theta, we simply convert this into polar form. Okay? So, polar form is in the form r angle of theta, which is ito, shift to 3 in the case of Casio. So, ito na siya. So, as we can see, yung r natin is 5, which is yun yung nakalculate natin previously. And so, as yung theta is around 53.13, which is this one. So, for the complex conjugate, well, there's no need na for us to encode this in the calculator kasi gagawin lang naman natin is we simply alter the sign of this one. So, there's no need for us to use the calculator. Ano? Pero we can utilize our calculator for us to convert this one into this form na mas madali. Okay? So, another important note pala regarding this angle is be careful on evaluating the argument nito. If ever this complex number is lying at quadrant 2 or even sa quadrant 3. Kasi, ang mangyayari, so let's say for example, let's say gawin ko itong negative 3 minus J4, which is around dito. Let's say for example dito siya, ano? So, if ever na isolve natin ang angle nito, well, of course, ang makukuha natin angle is positive. Because, let's say, arctangent of negative 4 divided by negative 3. Let's say, for example, ganito ang scenario, which is lying at quadrant 3. Once again, yung complex number natin. So, ang makuha nating angle is actually 53.13, which is ito siya. So, obviously, according to our illustration, mali siya. So, ang nangyari kasi dito is negative 4 over negative 3 is magko-correspond to positive 4 over 3, which is ang i-return na value ng calculator is ito. And a more mathematical na explanation is the identity ng tangent. Okay? So, kung baga, ito kasing tangent function natin is repetitive siya at a cycle of 180 degree. So, as you can recall, meron tayong identity sa tangent, which is tangent of theta is equivalent to 180 plus theta. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dito, if ever na ang ano natin is lying at quadrant 3, well, ang gagawin natin is mag-a-add tayo ng 180 doon sa angle. Okay? Because this 53.13 na nakuha natin is actually ito. Ito siya. And as you can recall, dapat ang measurement ng argument na to must be from positive real axis, which is this one. But yung 53.13 na na-compute natin is actually ito. Ito lang. which is from this negative axis papunta dito. And also take note that the angle measurement of a complex number, which is obviously in polar form, is counterclockwise direction for us to obtain a positive angle. Okay, so take note of that. So, eto, as we can see, since eto ang starting na side ng measurement natin, which is the positive real axis, and the direction of measurement is pa ganun, so obviously, kailangan natin include ang angle nitong straight line na to, which is the x-axis, which is obviously equivalent to 180. So 180 plus this angle is meron na tayong correct angle for this one, which is simply ito, plus 180. So meron tayo ditong 233.13. Okay? So, of course, the absolute value is unaffected. The length of the line is unaffected. Ano? Ang pinagkaiba lang is the angle. So, if we attempt to calculate ito, so let's say this is uh, -3 minus J4. So, of course, ang ano natin dito is theta must be 233.13 degrees. So, if we use our calculator to solve this directly, magiging -3 minus J4 ito or 4i and shift 23, well, ito ang magiging sagot natin. 5 angle of -126.87. Well, some of you may be arguing, bakit iba yung nakuha natin dito? Well, take note that this sign is magkaiba. Okay? So, ito, saka ito, itong binigyan ng calculator natin which is -126, which is iba dito, it seems na magkaiba siya dito sa positive 233.13, are actually correct. Parehas ito tama. Well, bakit? Itong -126.87 na to, approximately, is actually ito. Ito siya. Take note that na-mention ko kanina na the angle measurement for counterclockwise direction for the angle is positive, but at the opposite direction is of course negative. So yung negative 26.87 natin is actually ito. Parehas yan tama because ito saka ito are actually coterminal angles. Okay? So if you take the difference nito is magiging 360 ang makukuha natin. Okay, 360, which is the full angle nito. So, bakit yun yung binigay ng calculator? So, ang calculator kasi is actually programmed in regarding sa angle. Ang binabato na sagot is between -180 to positive 180. So, if ever na mag-exceed sa positive 180 yung angle na makuha, well, of course, yung calculator is yung kinukuha is the negative counterpart, which is ito. Okay? So, anyway, both of the answers are correct naman in terms of mathematical value. Okay? So, once again, the answer for this question, number 3, is the absolute value is 5. The argument or the angle it makes from the positive real axis is ito, 53.13. And the last one is ito, the complex conjugate, which is 3 minus J4. Okay?